All right, so now we're going to draw diagrams to solve trig word problems. Instead of the diagram be given to us, we're going to have to actually read and draw a picture to help us solve these problems. I don't think it's too bad. I think we'll be able to handle this. We just got a couple examples to do here, and then we'll be on our way. All right, so first thing is a 10-foot ladder reaches a window that is 8 feet up from the ground. What is the angle that is formed between the ladder and the wall to the nearest degree? So that picture is drawn for us. So there's a picture of a ladder and a wall. Now, do you need to be this sophisticated? Do you need to draw an actual building and an actual ladder with the rungs? No. I mean, that's fancy and cute and everything, but really, what do you need? You need the need color here. You need a vertical line that represents the wall, and then you need a diagonal going down to the ground that represents the ladder, and then you need the distance on the ground that represents the foot of the ladder to the wall. Okay, so as long as you have that, you have a right triangle and you'll be able to solve. So 10-foot ladder, 8 foot up from the ground. Okay, it's reaching 8 foot up from the ground, 8 feet up from the ground. What is the angle formed between the ladder and the wall? So the angle formed between the ladder and the wall, the ladder and the wall. So that's going to be up here. The ladder and the wall is up here. Ladder and the ground is down here. Ladder and the wall is up here. So here's the angle we're looking for. Now, this is opposite, and we don't know the opposite, and we're not finding it. So we're not using opposite. We're using adjacent, and we're using hypotenuse. Therefore, it's cosine. So we're going to do cos. We'll call it x. Cosine x equals adjacent 8 over hypotenuse 10. All right, so then since I know the 8 over 10, I'm going to do cosine inverse 8 over 10 in my calculator or using my table, and that's going to be 37 degrees. So approximately 37 degrees would be the angle up here. That would be this angle. So the solving is not going to be much different. The only thing new in this lesson is drawing the picture, which is nice because at least once you get it drawn and set up, you'll already know how to do these. You should. It's just good practice. So an airplane spots the floating debris at an angle of depression of 15 degrees. So now angle of depression, that's so here's the horizontal for the airplane, and then it's the angle going down. So the angle of depression is right here, 15. If the plane is an altitude of 3,000 feet, so there is the 3,000 feet, there's my right angle. What is the horizontal distance they fly over? So there's my x. All right. So based on, here's my reference angle, 15. I have opposite, and this is adjacent, because this is the hypotenuse over here, and we're not using the hypotenuse. So it's opposite, opposite, and adjacent. So that's going to be tangent. Tan 15, I know the angle this time, equals opposite 3,000 over adjacent x. Now I cross multiply. X tan 15 equals 3,000, and then I need to solve for x, so I divide by tan 15. Divide by tan 15. All right, so 3,000 divided by tan 15 is going to give me, I did it ahead of time just to save you time, it's going to give you 11,200 feet. Now, that is rounded to the nearest hundred. Nearest hundred. It actually came out to be, I don't actually have it was like 11,200 something, but they wanted nearest hundred. So you round it off to the nearest hundred, 200. All right, these we have to actually draw now, right? A young boy lets out 300 feet of string on his kite. So this is the kite problem. So here's that kite. All right, so here's the kite up here. You can draw a little kite if you want to. The angle of elevation they're talking about. So here, so angle of elevation is going to be the ground up. So that's this right here. The angle of elevation is 27 degrees. So this angle's 27 here. He lets out 30 feet of string. So that's the kite string. That's going to be the kite string. Here's my kite up here. Here's the boy. and this is just the distance off the ground. How high is the kite? So this is the height of the kite right here. How high the kite is off the ground. You're going from the ground straight up. We measure height straight up and down. You should know that. All right, so this is opposite. We're trying to find, and hypotenuse. Opposite, and this is hypotenuse. So that's going to be sine. Sine 27 equals opposite x over hypotenuse 30. Cross multiply, x equals 30 times the sine of 27. So x equals 13.62. Again, that's just calculator work right there. Make sure you're in degree mode. A 20-foot ladder. A 20-foot ladder leaning against a wall. Okay, so there's the ladder, right? And then there's the wall. There's the foot of the ladder to the wall. Okay. 20-foot ladder. And a window 18 foot. So here's the window. Here's the window. And it's 18 feet off the ground. So the window's 18 feet off the ground. What is the angle formed at the foot of the ladder? The foot of the ladder is at the bottom of the ladder. All right, so we'll call that F, foot of the ladder. And you can call this whatever you want. All right, so we're trying to find that right there. Opposite and hypotenuse again. Opposite and hypotenuse again. This time we're finding the angle, though. So it's going to be sine, again, but it's sine x this time, equals 18 over 20. And, of course, you do sine inverse. Sine inverse 18 over 20. Put that in your calculator. And that's going to give us 64.16 degrees. And it didn't specify. We'll just call it approximately 64 degrees to the nearest degree.